The Spark of Forbidden Knowledge, based on Frankenstein or The Modern Prometheus by Mary Shelley. Publication, date 1818. Victor Frankenstein hunched over his laboratory table in the dim candlelight, his bloodshot eyes studying the intricate network of vessels and sinews that lay before him. The University of Ingolstadt had provided him with the finest education in natural philosophy, but what he pursued now went far beyond any curriculum. For months, he had been working in secret, driven by an obsession that consumed his every waking moment, the conquest of death itself. The storm outside rattled the windows of his secluded workshop, and lightning illuminated the various instruments and specimens scattered throughout the room. Galvanic batteries lined the walls, their copper wires snaking toward the table where his great work lay waiting. He had studied the writings of Agrippa and Paracelsus in his youth, dismissing them as medieval superstition, but now he wondered if those ancient alchemists had glimpsed truths that modern science was only beginning to understand. His friend Henry Clerval had visited earlier that week, expressing concern about Victor's pallid complexion and increasingly erratic behavior. "You look like a ghost, Victor," Henry had said with characteristic warmth. "When was the last time you left this place? Come with me to the tavern, breathe some fresh air." But Victor had dismissed his friend's concerns with barely concealed irritation. How could he explain the magnitude of his discovery? How could he convey the intoxicating thrill of standing on the threshold of the greatest breakthrough in human history? While other men concerned themselves with trivial pursuits, he was about to unlock the very secret of life itself. He had spent countless nights in charnel houses and graveyards, studying decay and corruption, learning how death worked so that he might reverse its processes. The local authorities would have been horrified to know how he had acquired his materials, but Victor had convinced himself that the ends justified the means. What were a few desecrated graves compared to the potential salvation of all mankind? Now, as he made his final preparations, doubt crept into his mind like a poison. The form on the table was nearly 8 feet tall. He had chosen larger specimens to make his work easier, but the salt was unnaturally imposing. The features he had selected for their beauty seemed somehow wrong when assembled together, as if he had created not perfection, but a grotesque parody of human form. Lightning flashed again, and in that brief illumination, Victor thought he saw the chest rise and fall with the faintest suggestion of breath. His heart hammered against his ribs as he checked his instruments one final time. The electrical apparatus was ready, the conductors properly positioned. Years of research had led to this moment, the culmination of every theory he had studied, every experiment he had conducted. As he reached for the switch that would send the electrical current through his creation, Victor felt a strange mixture of triumph and terror. He thought of his family back in Geneva, his father, his adopted sister Elizabeth, his young brother William, and wondered what they would think of what he was about to accomplish. Would they see him as a hero of science, or would they recoil in horror from what he had done? The thunder crashed overhead, and Victor knew the moment had come. His hand trembled as it hovered over the apparatus. Once he threw this switch, there would be no turning back. He would either take his place among the greatest benefactors of humanity, or he would unleash something terrible upon the world. With a deep breath and a prayer to whatever gods might be listening, Victor activated his machine and watched as lightning seemed to flow from the heavens into his creation, bringing forth life from death.